Now, I've owned my Tesla Model 3 Performance for exactly 1 year, and I'm here to tell you about the good, the bad, and the ugly of owning this car, and maybe I'll even recommend that you get one yourself. I'm Aiden, and you're watching God Next. Now let's start this video off on a positive note because I don't want to be a negative Nelly about this car. So my favorite thing after 8 years of ownership of this car, it's going to be the overall experience when it comes to the way it looks and how fast it is. This car from Tesla is stated to make around 500 horsepower, which isn't exactly true. When this car is fully warmed up on a fresh charge, it actually makes closer to 600 horsepower with less drivetrain loss than a typical gas-powered car because there's less of a drivetrain to lose power through. So the speed is incredible. I've pulled a 2.89 seconds 0 to 60 with this car, of course, with 1 foot rollout and a sub 11 second quarter mile with 1 foot rollout. Now, also the looks, I think this car looks so much better than the previous Model 3 did, just light years better. And I think that's just because Tesla had way more time to design this car than they did with the previous version of it. So that's got to be my favorite thing about it, is the way it looks for an electric car. Of course, there are better looking gas cars out there, but for an electric car, it looks fantastic and it's ridiculously fast and performant. So those are the great things. Which leads me into my biggest pet peeve about this car, and it honestly isn't that bad. I'm not going to complain about charging because it's an EV, and complaining about charging is like complaining that it's hot during the summer. So it doesn't make any sense. But one thing I want to complain about is a part of the software in the Teslas. This car does not come with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, which means you have to use the built-in applications that Tesla offers to listen to your music. Now, there are a bunch of them. You could use Bluetooth audio, or you could use the multitude of other audio softwares, including Apple Music app, Spotify, YouTube Music, Tidal, which is crazy that it's even on there. Or if you want to listen to music through their karaoke system, you can also do that as well. But there are a bunch of systems. Now, the difference is I'm an iPhone user and I use Apple Music. So, of course, on Bluetooth audio, I have all kinds of features that I can do through my phone. And some of those features are limited when it comes to the actual Apple Music app in the Tesla. This is how. So on Apple Music in the app, let's say I'm not going to spend 10 minutes looking for a playlist to play or anything like that. And so I'll just go to my main thing and my all music library and just hit shuffle, and I'll listen to all of the songs. And if I need to skip something, I'll skip something. You can't do that with this app. You have to actually go and click on a song and then hit the shuffle button in the media controls, and half the time it won't even work and it'll just start playing random stuff that's outside your playlist. That's true for Spotify and Apple Music. I don't know about Tidal because I don't use Tidal, and I don't know about YouTube Music, even though I have it because of Premium. I don't use it very much. That's one thing to be aware of when it comes to using the music apps, and that's probably got to be my biggest pet peeve with this car. Now, let's talk about buying out a lease, because as you guys know, I do lease this car. Teslas are notorious for having horrible resale value. In fact, I just appraised this car 2 weeks ago through Kelley Blue Book, and it appraised for $43,000. If I had bought this car, I would not be down to $43,000 after 1 year. It was a $57,000 car. And over 72 months with the typical interest rate, even 60 months with the typical interest rate for 2025, which is around 6.5% to 8.5%, you would have not had it paid down to $43,000, which means you would be underwater if you put only a couple thousand or nothing down if you were to purchase this car, not to mention a higher payment. So what does that mean for leasing? Well, leasing, of course, the entire point of leasing is that you pay for the depreciation, they take the car back after a certain amount of time, which is fine. There's no problem with that. But I am not going to take an even bigger depreciation hit going into the years past year 3, which is when I give back the cars at the end of year 3. The Teslas continue to depreciate, and the Model 3 Performance, the last generation Model 3 Performance, is in the 20s. And so I'm not willing to still potentially be underwater with a car that's half paid off if I had purchased it, or even if I lease it, it's going to be like half paid off but it'd be worth less than half of what I bought it for. So I will not be buying out the lease on this car strictly for financial reasons. Now, of course, when you give a Tesla back, you have the option of getting another Tesla, or really any car, because you're going to need a car after you return your lease. So would I get another Tesla, Model 3, Model S, Model Y, Model X, or a Cybertruck? And the answer is going to be a maybe. And I say maybe because, as you guys know, I've owned plenty of cars, lots of cars, Mustangs, BMWs, Teslas, which means I want to experience more than just Tesla. I love this brand for what it is, what it stands for, the forward-thinking position of the brand overall. But I've not owned things like an Audi. I've not owned a Mercedes. I've not owned a Jaguar. Maybe I get an M3. Maybe I get a CLE 53 or a 63 if they finally come out with it. Maybe I get something like a used RS7, or if I'm lucky enough to find one, an RS6 or an RS5 or something along those lines. Something that I've not gotten the chance to yet purchase. Just because, you hear on social media all the time that Teslas are horribly built and they're this and they're that and they're this, and it's not a real car, guys. It's just a refrigerator on wheels. Here's the thing. The biggest misconception is that these cars are built poorly. They're not. At least not anymore. This one specifically is not built poorly, and I've been in Model S's recently and Model Ys. They are anything but built poorly. This isn't 2016, 2017 anymore. These cars are built perfectly fine. They're built just as well as Fords are, Chevys are, and no one complains too much about how bad those cars are built. This is a $57,000 car. It gets close enough to the M4 level of build quality to where I'm happy with it. Now, there's a lot of things that people bring up when it comes to Tesla, and one of them is going to be the subscriptions that you have to purchase to unlock certain features in your car, such as premium connectivity and full self-driving. Well, let me tell you about them. First one's going to be premium connectivity for $10 a month, which gives you access to video and music streaming, better live view maps, and then the big kahuna, the one that everybody wants, is going to be full self-driving, which gives you automatic lane changing and auto navigating to a destination. It'll even pass slow cars, and if you don't buy it up front for thousands and thousands of dollars, you could pay $99 a month. I recommend that everybody gets premium connectivity. A lot of people trash on Tesla owners and leasers, and some people have called it a cult. Some people have said that we're brainwashed. Some people have called us bootlickers. We're not, by the way. But would I say I'm a Tesla fanboy? I've liked Tesla since they've come out. I've always seen the vision for Tesla. I get the point. I get where Elon is coming with these cars. I get Tesla's mission statement, and it makes sense to me. Am I a Tesla fanboy? I'm a Tesla fanboy in the same way I like BMW. I'm a Tesla fanboy in the same way that I think Ford makes good trucks. When a car type like an EV notoriously is just known for bad range and unreliability and all this stuff, when Tesla comes out with this car, and they came out with it last year, at least for the refresh, and it's well built and it's put together and the range is good even for the performance model, you have to sit there and ask yourself, what am I really hating on? Because it doesn't have an engine? That's not necessarily fair, because most of the people who get in this car, before they ever get in it, they'll say, oh, I hate Teslas because they don't have an engine and they're soulless. And then even Evo, I've gotten in this car and he's been like, wow, this thing's actually really nice and really fast. I'd still rather have a gas car, but I can see the appeal of the Teslas. I rarely have people get in my car and actually sit there and say, oh, I still wouldn't own one of these. There are a lot of people who switch that mindset up almost immediately after getting into one. You're buying into an experience that was tailored for you with the technology and the speed and the looks and everything like that. Teslas are the best EV company out there. So am I a fanboy? Yes. As far as EVs go, I am a Tesla fanboy, but in the same way that I like all the other car brands that I'm a big fan of. So overall, did I make a good decision getting this car? Absolutely. My payment is far lower than my M4's payment was, by over double. And so I think that I probably couldn't have bought a better car for the money. There are days I wish I, had like a stick shift Miata or something like that, which I could go buy a second car that is a stick shift. But open your eyes a little bit, experience it, be a little progressive towards EVs, because they really are good cars. It's just that they have this stigma that they're soulless, which they kind of are, but that doesn't mean they're bad cars. It just means they don't make really cool noises. So that's all I have to say. If you guys like the video, make sure to hit that like button down below. And if you want to see more from us, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.